Hey, what's the deal? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 6:29 p.m. and the upload time of this is 11:30. You know what I mean? May 31st, 2025. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what I wanted to talk about in this episode because again, this is the third video I'm doing for the night, the third and final one. I'm done after this, you know. But I was looking at the Off the Mic Sports Network, right? Shout out to him because he provides some good shit, and he was talking about how AEW is now just WWE leftovers, which is true, which is basically absolutely true, right? But he mentioned something there where it kind of triggered me to make a video, which he said was absolutely fucking true, extremely fucking true. And he made a good point about something. You know, he brought up we know the fact that AEW will sign so many ex-WWE people. It's not even funny. I mean, I seen something where someone put, because they lost Mariah May, someone should sign Cora Jade. Cora Jade doesn't give a fuck about wrestling. You know what I mean? Like she's not in wrestling to make it big and stuff. She's just using wrestling as a platform to get into Hollywood and all this other shit, right? But he mentioned something about the four pillars of AEW, right? And we are seeing basically the downfall of the four pillars because you basically put aside developing people, right? Just to sign ex-WWE guys, right? So, you know, let's look at let's look at the four pillars, right? For those that don't know who the four pillars are in AEW, it is MJF, Sammy Guevara, Jack Perry, and Darby Allin, right? So look what happened to all four, okay? With Darby. You know, I said this before, I'm going to say this again. They're going to have Darby be the one to dethrone the Death Riders, to dethrone Jon Moxley to win the AEW World Championship, right? Because again, I know where they're going to go with this, right? They want the real hometown victory and stuff. And this is where Darby comes in, right? Darby Allin, because he climbed Mount Everest, right? But what the fuck, like he hasn't been the star that you think he should be, right? Like he basically looked like a fucking mid-card compared to everybody else, right? But let's look at the other ones, okay? Let's look at someone like Sammy Guevara, right? What the fuck happened to Sammy Guevara? I can tell you what happened to Sammy Guevara. Once a certain female got signed into the company, right? A certain female who's basically your women's champion right now, right? Then the status of Sammy Guevara went down, 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 down. You know what I mean? I tried to do the Johnny Gill my shit instead of saying, my. That was my shit back in the days, but like down, 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 right? I'm going downtown, baby. That Nelly bullshit. But he's been relegated to fucking Ring of Honor, right? I think he's still a tag champ with Dustin Rhodes. I'm not even sure. But yeah, he's made some appearances in Dynamite, but nothing substantial. Know what I mean? Look what happened to him, right? What the fuck happened to Jack Perry? What happened to Jack Perry? Remember he was Jungle Boy? Another one of my favorites growing up. That Tarzan joint. But but the thing with Jack Perry was not booked in a way where you knew he was going to be, something big. You know what I mean? And let's keep it a buck. The only reason why they signed Jack Perry is because who his father was, right? For those that don't know, his father was Luke Perry from Beverly Hills 90210. Rest in peace, right? Then they had the scapegoat, right? They made him to the scapegoat. Where the fuck is he at now? Huh? Where's Jack Perry at now? Huh? Gone. MJF. What the fuck happened to MJF? I mean, MJF to me was supposed to be the guy, right? To to be the star of All Elite Wrestling, right? What happened? I mean, what happened? You know, the way how he just fell flat off the face of the earth. Man, it was no bueno. No bueno. The dude had charisma. He had everything you can ask for. He's basically a WWE guy in AEW. You know what I mean? Like, he was basically supposed to be your crown jewel, right? Your blue chip superstar. What the fuck happened? You fucked up. You destroyed whatever you had with it. That man is WWE bound after his contract is up with WWE, right? And then there's Darby Allin, right? Darby Allin, you know, I compared Darby Allin to two people. I compared Darby Allin to both Sabu, and he also has some Mick Foley in him. Not me, because all the crazy shit that he does and, you know, things like that, right? You know, Darby Allin is not a person who, to me, you know, I see why they like Darby Allin. You know what I mean? Because the indie people like Darby Allin. But my thing is this, right? With Darby Allin, if they do not give the world championship to Darby Allin, which I do think they are, even if they do, you're going to have some people who say, he's not ready. When the fuck is he ever going to be ready? Now, I mean, when the fuck is Darby Allin ever going to be ready? Like, AEW destroyed their 4 blue chippers. The thing is, right? Like, they look at these quote unquote blue chippers like, you know, like the OVW4, right? The OVW4, which is John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Batista, and Randy Orton, right? Then again, let me take away John Cena, because it's supposed to have been a guy by the name of Ron Waterman, right? But then you add John Cena in there. That's what the fuck was supposed to have been. But you know, unlike thing, none of them are sniffing, you know, a big superstar status. None of them, you know? And the fact that you signed an ex-WWE people over these guys, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is why WWE is counter-programming the AEW every way. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they're going to take these talents. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you know what? You know, you want to take some of our talents back. We're going to take some of yours. And you're seeing that. You know what I mean? You're fucking seeing that. Like, you don't think all four of these pillars would do well in WWE? You know, I have people tell me, oh, well, you know, Sammy Guevara's attitude and blah, 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 right? Wasn't there a person by the name of, I don't know, Phil Brooks, who had the exact same attitude issues? My ass is fat. Yeah, I was walking down Myrtle and Claremont. I see someone go right into the Walgreens, and like her booty is like Josh. But you know, the same thing that happened with Punk, right? The exact same thing that happened with Punk. I mean, you don't hear any complaints. I haven't heard a peep since he signed. You know, since he came back in late 2023. I haven't heard a peep. You know what I mean? So again, these are people who basically, you know, they're scared of the unknown because the unknown is more than likely going to be reality. You know what I mean? And again, the AEW is, you know, it's now unrecognizable. It's beyond unrecognizable. You know, and again, you're supposed to have built your future towards these guys. Now, like, they're just supporting players. They're just supporting players. I hate to keep it, you know, I hate to tell you the truth, but it's in your face. It's in your face, man. Like, you know, you're not gonna, you know, listen, they don't look at MJF like how they will look at, you know, fucking Jon Moxley. They don't look at MJF like how they would look at, you know, Adam Copeland. You know what I mean? They don't look, you know, like, they don't look at him in that way. AEW doesn't look at him in that way. They got this motherfucker as a member of the Hurt Syndicate, man. Like, you serious? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a joke. It's a joke. The company's a joke. All Elite Wrestling's a joke. It's a fucking joke. You know what I mean? Like, you basically buried the four pillars. And it's a shame. It's a fucking shame. I'm about to be out, you know what I'm saying? I definitely will be coming back with another video tomorrow. Again, the website will be up tomorrow. So I'm going to put up a link and everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to introduce the website and everything. So I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace!